Welcome back to another video with me, Jenny Kirk, where we're going to be opening and reviewing some of my new haul of model railway stuff. This particular item came through the Hornby fire sale. I suppose it's a bit unfair to call it that, but there was some incredible bargains to be had, and this is one of the locomotives that really caught my eye. It's one of the B17/6 class, and this is an early BR green. We can see we've got the cycling line, the early British Rail logo, and it's catalogue number R3318. It's called Gilwell Park, running number 61646, and there's several different identities of this class of locomotive available in the sale, but I chose this one just because. And as in the now familiar Hornby packaging. So we've got the outer slip case, which is quite a tight fit, pulling that out. And we've got the actual photograph of the model there. We've got a top-down view of the model. But then on the back, we have a little bit of a brief history, which is quite nice. Just talking about its origins, who designed it, and also some of the different modifications that led to the subclasses of the B17, this being the 6th subclass. And then we've also got a little facsimile of what I presume are the original works drawings of the thing. So we're going to put that to one side, and we've got the cardboard outer that cushions the plastic inner quite nicely. We've got our instruction leaflet, and this is, again with Hornby, something I do quite like, is they do tell you where all the separately applied detail goes, which is something that I know where some of the backman items, see there, you can see for the brake rigging, for some of the backman items they leave you to guess, which some of the stuff isn't necessarily all that obvious, but with Hornby they do at least give you a clue. We're going to slide this out, and one of the first things that's fairly obvious there is the wealth of separately applied detail there. We've got vacuum hoses, we've got the brake rigging, we've got the I'm trying to remember what they're called. Oh God. Can't remember what they're called. We've got all sorts of exhaust pipes from the cylinders, some extra steps, front coupling should you need it, and bits that I don't even know what they're for, but they're all there, and the leaflet there gives you a clue. You don't have to apply all of these, and indeed some of these would foul the bogie wheels if you're using fairly tight curves. So you would only really apply all of this if it was going in a display cabinet or you had very, very generous curves on your model railway. If we open this up, we can see we've got a little piece of hard foam just to protect the tender from rattling about in transit. We've got, again, this quite soft, slippery plastic just protecting all the detail on the top. We're going to lift that out. Now, the locomotive and tender are permanently attached together, so we have to be a little bit careful with this. In fact, I'm going to just take a look underneath there. And one thing I do like about this, that I have to say I spotted immediately, is that the tender and the locomotive are a much more permanent connection, and this avoids putting stress on the plug that connects the electrics and the tender to the locomotive. And I think that is a very good move by Hornby, because a lot of the time they come unhitched and then strain the wires and cause all sorts of problems with that. Now, I have had this running and I can report that it runs incredibly smoothly, so I'm very pleased with this. There is a really good weight to the locomotive. It is loco drive. The tender actually looks very, very tiny, but it is faithful to the original, and part of the reason for this, which is detailed in the history on the back of the box, is to do with keeping the weight down. So this particular small tender was to allow it to work certain lines, but all in all, it really is a nice locomotive. I've had it running with an assortment of Hornby Super Detail ex-LNER Gresley coaches, and it really does look superb. Now, we've got sprung buffers on there. It's a full fat model, separately applied handrails. The lining application is very, very crisp. And the other thing that I'd like to draw attention to is the parting line down the boiler is almost invisible. Not completely invisible, but certainly it's a very, very good mould that they've used here. The coal pile in the bunker really did draw my eye because it actually looks like coal. And I know that sounds a bit like an oxymoron, but with a lot of these models, the actual design of the lump of coal in the tender or the bunker leaves a lot to be desired. But on this, it's got this very nice humping effect that makes it look like it's real coal. And looking at this, the way it catches the light, I wouldn't feel any need whatsoever to put real coal crushed over the top there because it's just been done so well. We've got a wealth of separately applied detail on this. We've got particularly like some of the detail on the tender there, the air tanks, the water fillers, the handbrake wheel. And again, lining on the side, very crisply applied. This particular locomotive is called Gilwell Park. Now, these particular locomotives, some were named after football teams and others were named after country stately homes. And this is one of the ones that has been named after stately homes. Now, in terms of the separately applied detail, you can run it as is, and to be honest, I wouldn't say that there's any detractment from not applying the separately applied bits and pieces, but I can see where a lot of it goes, and I'm personally going to, certainly the brake rigging I'll give a go, and the vacuum hoses as well, add a little something to it, but I won't be applying all of that. There's not really much else that can be said about this. It has a great grace when it's running. The wheels are very fine. I like the way you can see daylight through underneath there, and it successfully hauled 6 coaches without even breaking a sweat. So there's good pulling power off this. And at the moment, examples of this and a couple of others of the same class can be had for about £72 to £77, which really in this day and age of rapidly escalating prices is a bargain. And I don't often say this, but I will say that when they're gone, they're gone. So really, if you feel like one of these is for you, I would get in there quick before they disappear, because they are well worth the money. The locomotive itself is DCC ready, as it says on the box. I've not gone hunting around for where the chip goes, but I suspect it's in the tender, probably underneath the coal load. But as I don't use DCC, it doesn't really bother me. It's very sure-footed. It runs through complicated point work without any hints of derailment, and it doesn't crab as it goes around the track, and that's something that I did find with some of the other Hornby big express locomotives, like the Duchess class. You don't get that with this. All in all, I would say that I am very, very pleased with this model. Very fine valve gear. I did actually oil this, so if you can see glistening on it, it's because I have run it before I took it out of the box. I would give this a very, very strong 9.5 out of 10. It is one of my favourite locomotives, which if it hadn't been on sale, I have to be honest and say, I possibly wouldn't have got it. But the fact that it's on sale has put me in a position where actually I'm very glad that I've got it. And if it hadn't been on sale, had I known what I know about it through looking at it, through running it, through seeing it very closely, I suspect that I probably would have bought it at full price as well. So a very solid offering there from Hornby. Not a hint of design clever going on in this, either good or bad design clever, so cannot recommend it more highly. Anyway, I hope this video has been informative to you. Don't forget to like it and share it too. And there's also, if you look back through stuff that we've got on the channel, there's plenty there for you to see. And also, I take this opportunity as well to say that over on the Knobmouse channel, and hopefully there'll be, there it is. There will be a little box there that you can click on, and that will take you straight to the Knobmouse channel, where you can see myself and my lovely camera woman Zoe talking about a whole host of other things there. Anyway, until next time, you take very good care of yourself. This is me, Jenny Kirk, saying bye for now.